Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Dr. Vibe here, co-host, co-producer of this thing called The Morning Vibe, but I also host and produce the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also host the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that is co-sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care, and also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And I am blessed, had a favorite, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And so are you. And it's been a minute since myself and Ryan have been on together. It seems like forever, but we are back. We are back.
Yes. And Blackalicious. You keep forgetting.
Blackalicious. Yes, Blackalicious. Whenever I say that, people go, I like that. Can I steal that?
Right, that's why I don't forget it.
And I'm forgetting it. I'm the person who sort of laid the foundation for that. But good morning, everybody. We are back. It's been a minute, it seems, but it hasn't been really that long. And if I sound a little bit different, I have a bit of a sinus cold, chest cold that I'm overcoming. That's the second one I've had this year. But I know why I got it, because I was away for a little bit, and the place I was staying was fully air conditioned. But there were so many people in the house, I ended up sleeping downstairs. So downstairs is cooler, plus air conditioning. My head does not handle cold air very well, and I got congested, which led into that. But we're okay. I'm talking too much. Ryan, what's going on?
Hey, glad to be with you. Good day, everyone. For those that don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. Also, I'm an entrepreneur. I run the company Detailing Nights. So we support youth in the community with our mobile car cleaning service. We turned it into a youth entrepreneurship program. And really, this summer, the weather has been completely beautiful. This weekend was magnificent. I know it might rain a bit this week, but we are still ready to go. If you want to support youth by getting your car cleaned, go to detailingnights.ca. And by getting your car cleaned, you're actually supporting future leaders. And I'm always rocking my PACU shirt, and that stands for the Pan-African Credit Union. So if you want to support a financial institution that is run by the Black community for the Black community, definitely go to pacu.ca and become an investor. You can actually have part ownership of this credit union. So looking forward to seeing you there, because I will be there.
All right, before we go any further, I'd like to just say that this episode of The Morning Vibe is sponsored by the Macmillan Group. And the Macmillan Group has been providing mortgage solutions one client at a time since 1999. Buying, refinancing, or investing, call them at 905-813-4354 in Canada. Or you can call them in the United States, 904-586-5636. So let me say that again, US 904-586-5636, or you can visit them at their website, themacmillangroup.com. So again, always thank you to the sponsorship that the Macmillan Group provides us. And actually, indirectly, that leads to, I wonder, one of the many conversation topics we're going to be chatting about today, about homes and house pricing, but just want to share that Ray and his son, Stefan, who are absolutely fantastic individuals. And I'm not saying that because they're sponsors. We became good friends before the sponsorship thing dropped. Actually, I have a number of people from the United States, a number of Black Americans who who are thinking about moving to Canada.
Gotcha.
And I've been referring them directly to Ray and Stefan. There is a lady a married lady, her and her husband have some kids. They're living in Delaware, and they're wanting to move up to Toronto or the GTA area. And had some conversation with them. I said, you know what? You need to speak with Ray and Stefan. Ray and Stefan can just do the thing. So they actually met about a week and a half ago. 2.5 hour meeting, and I did speak with Ray a few days ago, and he said, amazing couple. So that's what we have to do. We got to help each other out, but I'm really happy about that. And there's another gentleman from the Chicago area that is I'm going to get Ray and Stefan to move, who wants to move up here before the end of the year to Toronto. So that's going on. And someone else I know is looking to do a home move also. Who is that?
Hey man, we're getting close. We're getting close. So, and it might not be in Brampton. So we'll see if we're coming across the border. I need you to stamp my passport if we're coming to Ajax town.
Well, I'm not too far from Ajax. So I actually was there. Let's catch up on things. And people, if you have any questions, this is like a catch-up session, ask us anything session. We haven't done one of these for a while, but I was in Ajax yesterday. The Cornwall College Old Boys Association of Canada had their annual family fun day, which they hadn't had in 3 summers. And it's whoever wanted to come out, there were games, there was food, there was music. It was a really good time. So spend some time at the Greenwoods Conservation Park in Ajax. Beautiful day. Beautiful day, and a really good. But Ajax, wow. So
it'll be a switch.
Before we went live, you were saying about some of the challenges or the landscape out there when it comes to home buyers right now, especially since interest rates have gone up, but buying of homes has gone down.
And so we're seeing the house prices starting to correct. I mean, in the Durham region, before that's where people from Brampton be like, oh, Brampton's too expensive, let's go out to Durham. But those prices skyrocketed. So that completely shifted. But now I feel like, I wouldn't say it's correcting like back to whatever normal would be, but they are shifting down. So banks are now kind of stepping back and being like, well, we want to see where this is going. Because like you said, with interest rates going up, now banks are hesitant because house prices house values aren't what they were like last week. Like each week it's changing.
You're kidding.
So because it's shifting so quickly, and now because we started the process, oh my gosh, like a year and a half ago looking for a home. And so the mad rush when you finally find one, you put an offer and it actually gets approved. So now you go over the financing, that whole process, we're seeing a lot of people are getting stuck and having to back out of deals because prices have gone down. So I'm hoping, hey, my prayers go out to anybody that is currently in that situation where getting the financing it totally sucks the joy of house buying out of the air. First, it was not being able to get your offer approved. That sucked the joy out. And then when it does get approved, the difficulty in getting the financing sucks the air out of the room again. So I don't know if this is what house buying is supposed to be about. I don't know what the hype is. It's like when it's over, then I guess that's when you get to enjoy your home and, you know, build up some generational wealth. But getting there is no picnic. And that's where I ask the question now. So, hey, Black North, Dream Legacy Foundation, they have these home ownership programs. The federal government, Ahmad Hussein was on, I think it was last week, announcing that they're doing these affordable housing projects. I think there was 8 of them for 200 units. Is it, who's getting into these homes? Like, I just want to see some case studies because I haven't heard of any. And it even ties into the Black Entrepreneurship Loan Program. Like, who's actually getting the money when they announce these programs? So, hey, the housing one, I'll say it's new. So we'll give it time. But I really hope that it's working, because if it's not, it's gonna, when I say it sucks the joy out of home buying, to hear that there's a program that you think is going to help and then it doesn't work, that to me is going to do more harm to a person that wants to get into the home than if there was no program at all. So I'm
Well,
very
you know,
curious to see
it
how
it
many
brings up
people
this.
this will help.
It brings up the word accountability, and also with these programs, the question has to be raised that what happens if all the money doesn't get used?
Yeah, true. But
You
that's
know,
where, like, because when you say use, like, what is it used for? I still struggle. I hope they do an info session about these programs because I would love to just understand from A to B. Like, hey, look, I was looking for a house. I could use some support. I signed up for the Black North one. I never got a call back. I never got an email. So I don't know what position do you have to be in to get approved for these things. And whoever is being approved would love to hear how their process has been and if it's been smooth or a success.
well, it's interesting. You know, we chat about this subject a lot during
Mhm.
the morning vibe journey about who's getting, who's not getting, etc. And again, I don't know, hey, I don't know too many. Oh, I only know of one or two firms that have got money from the ecosystem program. Like, and I think you and I know one organization
True,
that got,
yes.
yes, that, and I don't too many, and I hear of others. I don't know, but it's just really interesting to see what's going on because I think there was an excitement. Then now I don't hear the excitement as much anymore.
Oh yeah, it's well, and that to me, I'm not worried about the, I guess, the excitement going down because there's a lot of hype and then you get to work. You know, like you do your press release, you do your announcement, but then you have to get to the real work of, accepting applications, processing those applications and getting money out the door. So if you're diligent and money is flowing, that to me is better than the hype and maybe like the additional press releases
Symbolism.
and right and people going on tour just like, oh, look at us, this is what we're doing. It's like, no, help people get through the program. That to me is the bigger deal, and that can be done nice and quiet. Like if I just hear
Mhm.
people saying like, because I send people to these programs, people come to ACBN, they want to understand what the programs are, we outline it, we send them there, they apply for it, and then they get stuck. So we keep hearing people that are stuck more so than people that get through and come back and say, man, Brian, thank you so much. We went to the Bates program from the BBPA and it was smooth and I got through. We're hearing, oh, I haven't heard back from them. And for like a year. So they had to really
A
fix
year.
their process. It took about a year to get things, I would say, smoothed out. The same thing with Face. That took about a year to get things smoothed out. So if that's the runway, if that's the time, if that's the timeline that it takes Black organizations to get their footing with new programs, are we okay with that? Is a year,
Well,
is that
yeah,
par for the course?
and I okay. So in defense of maybe some of the programs, I think also the applicants have to have an understanding what they need to bring to the table. So it's a two a straight. So I'm just
Absolutely.
coming back to what you're saying. I think there's some education that is needed, and I know
Mhm.
organizations like yours and others are doing the education piece because a lot of Black individuals who want to get access to the financial part, they're not educated on that, right? So they think they can just apply,
And
no
I'll give
problem. They're,
you an example
go ahead.
after. Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, so so this is where organizations like yours and others have to fill the gap in regards to, but again, the unfortunate thing is the persons that applying, they think they a lot of times need money now, and they have to come to the reality. This is a process. Go
Right.
ahead.
And that's where knowing the process is key. But then also, like you said, having that filter. So, for example, ACBN, we have our microloan program. But before a person can apply for the loan, they fill out their business needs. So that we have a form that we figure, okay, what is this person in their business? What support do they need? And then we have a call with them to say, okay, we got your application. We want to talk to you about your business, and we hear the story. And then a lot of times there's things that the person needs before the money. And like you said, there's preparation that they need before they apply. So I'll work with entrepreneurs on their cash flow projections and their business plans. And I would say 99% of them haven't calculated their cost of acquisition.
Yep.
They haven't calculated their LTV, which is the lifetime value of their customers. So you're submitting a business plan that doesn't explain your cash flow and how you're going to make these sales and keep your customers, and how much does it cost you to get customers, so that you know when you put money into your machine, your business machine, how much profits it's going to spit out. So we help people create that, and then they're ready for the loan. And once that's ready, they're now actually ready for other loans. Like they can get our money first and then plug into other loans afterwards. But if we're sending people, and this happened with Face, we're just saying, hey, come apply for money. And even with all these bank loans too, people are just applying for the money, but there's no filter that supports them and gets them ready to get the money. And CIBC, I feel like, might be the only one that put in place a mechanism to support entrepreneurs with their business plans. But then you get into what you just said. A person comes and applies for money now because they need the money to execute something now. And you're telling them, oh, go through this 12-month program. There's like, I don't have time for that. There needs to be figure out some sort of hybrid where a person can be getting funds and training at somewhat the same time. But yeah,
we got to catch up.
Strategy.
We got to catch up on some shout outs here. Good morning, Marlon. Hope all is well. Tim Frank, good morning as also. Frequency Event Promotions, good day. Man, Frequency Event Promotions, man, you are pushing on social media. My goodness.
Yes.
Every time I open up my social media, something's there from Frequency Event Promotions. Actually, okay, well, we'll have a good question that comes up between you and I in regards to that. Tim Frey saying, if you want to compare our system to the Bible, the system is Pharaoh and we Black community are the Hebrews. Pharaoh kept promising the Hebrews programs to free them, and then sorry, no. And Tim is saying here's thank you for this honest comment, Sophia A. Marshall. That's true. I have no idea where to start.
Right.
Tim Frank saying hope in the current system is killing most of our spirits. I feel it is. Ray, good morning, gentlemen. The home buying process uses grants. It is an intricate process with many moving parts: grant issuer, realtors, mortgage professionals, lenders, banks. I'm glad you're here, Ray. I'm going to be reaching out to you after today's conversation. We need to have you back on. So I'm putting it out there. We're gonna have you back on and really break down what's going on in the home buying climate right now, because you have become my go-to person when it comes to this area. First of all, Ray's an incredible human being, him and his wonderful son, and they know what they're talking about. So Ray, I'm already putting out there, what's your calendar like next Monday morning? So I'm already putting it out there. Frequency Promotion saying we are good. Ray says the full process isn't grasped by many. The potential buyer needs to do the work to understand the grant process. That is why we want you on next Monday, Ray.
Absolutely.
So we're putting.
I couldn't count on one hand how many people understand that full process, and that's where a person like Ray that actually does understand the full process, we need to get his voice to more people so that more people understand it, because doing the homework is pretty difficult to find the actual process and what to go through for a lay person that maybe is buying their first home. Like, that's what the whole program is for. A first-time home buyer.
I think buying a home, period. Because how many? Even if you're a repeat buyer, do you know the whole process? If you bought a home 10, 15 years ago, it's a different process now than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And as you're saying, things are changing weekly.
It's madness. Yeah, absolutely.
It's changing weekly. So I'm
Mm,
going to put it out there. So definitely,
mm,
it's uh, so frequency event promotions is with us, and it's interesting that they do great
mm,
stuff, doing promotional stuff, etc. And it made me think of a question. I remember a
mm.
number of months ago, you had George Fraser on as part of your many things your organization does,
The
and
symposium.
yeah, I just want to.
Yes.
Is there still value having a business card?
Ooh, because you know what? So I'm of two minds. Business cards keep evolving, and people have these apps now where you can just like tap your phone together and it shifts the person's information. But there's something interesting, especially when you're in person, when you don't have a business card, you look very clunky. Like you're trying to figure out how to get the person's information and it's not organized because sometimes, hey, you'll put the person's information in your phone and you'll have like their name and their phone number. And then afterwards, you check it later and you're like, what is this person's number in my phone for again? So the business card is very organized and I love being able to give it. So I'm a big fan of the business card, and I always have business cards on me. What about you?
I think it's interesting. I think
Hmm.
it'd be interesting to get people's feedback of different generations. Is a business card
Right.
valuable to someone who's in their early 20s? Because they grew up on this, right?
Absolutely.
They grew
Yeah.
up on this, so they're probably more used to saying, give me your details or tap me or whatever, screen share, whatever.
Yeah. The one
Or
I can't get used to is, oh, just find me on Instagram. It's like, nah,
what?
Instagram. That's I can't
No, 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 no.
process
Why,
that.
why? No, you're giving. I have to find your information. You should be
Well,
giving it
they'll
or
tell it.
putting it
Yeah, they'll
in
be like,
for me.
oh, here's
You can
my
find
here's my
like
Instagram.
yeah. Okay. You want? I have to find your information. You should be giving, or you should be taking my phone
Yeah.
and doing it for me.
But even like when they put it in, I'm just like, me connecting with you on Instagram to me isn't like a business connection. And that's probably where I'm missing maybe the power of Instagram. But it's either a business card or LinkedIn. It's like, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn or I'll get your business card. But I usually try to find them on LinkedIn and then that to me is the true connection. Instagram, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
Well, it leads into more conversations here. I was at an event 2 weeks ago
Mhm.
and walked in, was wearing a shirt similar to this one. Don't let your option define your object. This was like a semi-formal event. I just come in with a t-shirt
Yes,
like
yes.
that. And people say, well, like, why did you do that? Do you know how many people came up to me and said, I love that t-shirt? Instant conversation starter without me even
Ah,
saying a word. But I ended up sitting beside at a table, met someone from who's a representative of a university in Southern Ontario. They have an innovation program. And we chatted no more than 15 minutes. And she said, I'd like to know more about what you do. I said, sure. She goes, are you on LinkedIn? I said, sure. So she right then and there reached out to me on LinkedIn.
mhm.
I said to her, I'll, follow up with you within 48 hours.
Yep.
As soon as I got home, the way I follow up with her, I sent her a video introduction.
Right, right.
She absolutely loved it. And we're having a meeting this week to potentially do a collaboration together.
You see that?
Now,
Hey, and
now,
those
now we
video
have,
introductions are powerful.
and
You
a
keep
lot
telling
of
me.
people still aren't using them. I think even the last night,
Mhm.
Ryan and I were chatting, say people are missing out. If you have, even if you're not, if you
Yeah.
can do them, I, I I can only speak for myself. The response I get from them and them leading to at least an initial meeting has been phenomenal for me. But that's a whole other conversation. Let's catch up here.
Nice.
Frequency event promotion say, yeah, they're doing a free community pop-up shop Saturday, August 6th in Scarborough. They also say traditional business cards are still
Cool,
socially
cool.
accepted, but there is tech that has created a digital business card. Oh,
Mhm.
Frequency also says business cards is a long-standing branding tool if you are asking. Okay. Ray is saying business
Yes.
cards will never be obsolete. even my 30-year-old son uses cards. A better tool, though, in my opinion, is a well-done brochure, possibly trifold, because you can put much more information. I don't mind that idea, and I still say with business cards, I think where a lot of people may hiccup with business cards is you just make sure make sure you're giving to someone you feel is worth giving to. Because remember, you're paying money. You're paying money for that business card. And if you just give it to someone that you really don't feel you have anything in alignment with, it could be a waste of time and a waste of money. Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put too much effort into trying to figure out, is this person worth the 25-cent business card?
Hey, well,
to me, it's more if they ask, because you never know if there's synergy that they could pass on that information to somebody else that actually needs your service. So just saying like, oh, this person doesn't align. I don't know. Like, I mean, if you have a deep conversation with somebody and you realize they're in left field and you're on a hockey rink, then yeah, maybe.
So let me ask you something then. What criteria do you use in regards to giving someone a business card?
So if I'm talking to them at an event and I want to remember their contact information, I would swap business cards. If they're talking about something that I'm not interested in, then typically I wouldn't. If they ask me for my business card, I typically don't say no. For like, yeah, I guess I don't really filter my business card as much.
Okay.
Yeah, because if the conversation goes to where they're asking for it, I would give it.
Everyone's different. I like to filter. That's just the way I am. Sophia Marshall says I book a free virtual consultation with them. That way I have their info and they have mine, I guess you're saying. Okay, no problem. Ray says agreed. I don't give random people my card. I tend to collect cards instead. Like that.
Yeah, and that for me, I find I'll follow up more than a person I give my card to. So that's why I like to collect cards as well and organize them and put them in my spreadsheet, do an initial outreach and say like, hey, met you at XYZ event, would love to touch base. But just giving the card willingly, a person has to ask for it. I usually just don't give it. So I'm kind of on that wavelength too. But I'm not feeling the brochure though, because if a person gives me a brochure, I feel like that's a bit much. Unless it's like if it's a trade show. So if we're at a trade show and I'm like grabbing their information, if we're in a networking event and a person hands me a trifold, I'd be like, I appreciate the effort, but I'll just take down the information and hand the brochure back. But yes. Although I like your brochure, Ray. I always like, actually, Ray, not even a brochure. Ray has a full folder that he would give that has his information in it. I still have mine from McMillan Group.
Well, you know what I think also too, it's different strokes for different folks. Again, knowing your audience, knowing what works with your audience, with Ray's audience, that would work. Maybe for your audience, it wouldn't work. So it's really, really good to know the different approaches. So that just came up on the fly. Business cards are value. Did you let's flip it a little bit. Did you get a chance to go to any of the events that were happening in the Greater Toronto area this weekend?
This weekend, no. There was an event that I've been planning to go to by Deaf Events and Beyond. Andrea Zachary had, I guess it was like a picnic family fun fair. I believe it was Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday? Might have been Saturday. No, it was on Saturday. Any other events?
Afrofest. Do you know anyone who went to Afrofest?
Oh no, that was this weekend. Yeah. I was supposed to go to that. Peter's gonna drop kick me. Yeah, did you get to go?
No, I wasn't going.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know how I am with big crowds just yet. I mean, I feel like I'm quite in social, but hey, we did the conference and that was in person.
Yeah.
But Afrofest, that's a lot bigger. Caravana's coming in, I guess, the end of this month. That is probably going to be huge with a lot of people,
That's going to be interesting.
right? I don't know.
So Frequency Event Promotions is saying Afrofest was off the chain.
One. What about how, like, was it packed? Like,
Yeah, well, this is the
how did
question.
you?
What does that mean? You're off the chain
Yeah,
could be someone's off the nickel, right? So
like back to normal, or yeah.
so Ray's saying we always tell folks we sell the most expensive on earth, so the branding and approach to marketing is very important.
Yes. Well, I guess that's where, because I sell car cleaning and he sells houses. So I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I can give a card, but yeah, he needs to come correct.
absolutely, absolutely. No, I didn't go to Afrofest. I think, thank goodness, the Rogers. Well, we'll get into that in a second. But
Yes.
the whole I don't know. I don't know anyone who went, but obviously Frequency Event Promotions there. So what you're saying,
Nice.
it's off the chain. Was it off the chain attendance wise? Is it off its chain business wise? Because this is probably the first major event in the last 3 summers that Black entrepreneurs Black business had a big audience in front of them.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Tim saying Afrofest on Friday was not packed, but it was still great. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. I'd like to hear what happened. Like, I saw some pictures of some people who were there on site, seemed that was okay, but I think that it'd be very interesting because I know there were some vendors who asked me, how can I get a booth down there, etc. And when they found out the cost, they said, can't do it.
Ooh.
Too expensive.
Whoa. What? Yeah. Because what's a typical? Well, I guess that's a bigger event, like over 500, like that type of expensive. Did
Tim
they
has
say?
more. Don't know, but Tim's saying it seemed it was more for the people in the beaches to go to. Yeah, and also too, this weekend in Toronto was ridiculous for traffic. The traffic was
Oh,
ridiculous.
yes.
It was just, and like, if there was
Well,
just,
Saturday there was like a 5-lane crash on the 401, blocking 5 lanes. I don't remember if it was express or collectors, but the
and
401 got mashed up.
and then that's another thing too. The price, the cost of living has gone up so much. Plus the post pandemic, there's just so many things going on. I'll be very interested to see how successful Afrofest was. Like, I told vendors, I said, if you can't get a booth down there, hey, walk around, carry your stuff, sell it on foot.
Right, or introduce yourself.
Right there, sell it on foot.
Yeah,
Pitch your brand right there to people and have one of those swipe machines. If people are ready to do transactions, make it happen.
true.
So yeah, and if anyone has any questions or any comments they want to throw at us, we're sort of just like doing open mic Monday and just catching up. Like I said, it's been a while since Ryan and I have been on live. So actually we said, let's just open it up today.
But
Go ahead.
I did want to touch on, because you're talking about the swipe machine. And so when the Rogers thing went down, I didn't realize how many businesses their payment machine got affected. And I was just like, wow, people are losing money. Because I went to Pizza Nova and they're like, oh, we can't take debit. And so I'm thinking to myself, I have to now go drive to a bank machine because the bank machine that was in the plaza is closed. And then I was just like, you know what? If it was just me, I would have said, forget it. But I was with the kids. I was like, okay, let me go get the money and come back and get the pizza. But I could only imagine how many businesses lost actual dollars because of
Well,
this.
and it's really interesting. Okay, well, parking lot, the Rogers outage, just for a second, business wise, and interesting. How is Rogers gonna? They say they're gonna compensate customers. I'll be interested to see how that happens. But let's parking lot for a second. Let's go back to Afrofest Frequency. Event Pro saying Afrofest for us was attended on Sunday. The attendance was enormous and had a lot of vendors and enormous count of customers. The overall atmosphere was very community friendly. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. Now let's get back to Rogers. Let's get back to Funky Friday.
That's a good word for it.
So I
A
get up
mess.
on Friday morning
Mm,
and 5 o'clock in the morning, get
mm,
on my computer. Internet's not working. Okay. So I said, okay,
mm,
I've been around the block a little bit when it comes, so fooling around with my cable modem, plug it out,
mm,
plug out the connection out. Okay. No internet. Okay. So
mm.
I call my provider, who is a reseller of Rogers cable internet.
Ah.
This is 5 o'clock in the morning, people. I'm on hold for 45 minutes. So I'm
At
going,
5 a.m.
yeah, I'm going, okay, something's up, because at 5 a.m., usually you don't have too many people waiting in queue,
Yo, that's direct through.
right? So I'm going, okay. So I hang up, I call them again. There's not even a phone connection. Nothing, dead
Oh,
air. So I'm going, okay, all right, all right. So by
mm,
about 6:37, I find out that network is down. So I say,
right.
okay. So for people on Friday, we didn't have a show on Friday because I didn't have any internet. Ryan wasn't going to be on the show anyways. He said he had a
Mm,
prior commitment. And the guest that we were supposed to have, Wayne Harris, he has Rogers. He couldn't come on either. I
right.
couldn't even communicate with him.
Yes.
So I thought it was just really interesting what went down on it. And the funny thing is, will we ever hear the real story of what happened? Were they hacked?
So the story that they're giving is that there was a machine malfunction that they found.
Yes,
They did a maintenance update and one of the
right.
routers malfunctioned, so they had to reroute traffic. Maybe if this was a hack, this was like, I don't know how much they would have to pay to get that hack fixed. But I really hope it wasn't, because that would show some next level hackery. Like if they're able to shut, that
Hackery. I
was
like
like a
that.
nation,
Hackery.
right? A
Hackery.
nationwide shutdown. But if it was a machine malfunction, that I'm sure that's something that they can alleviate. But now the question about compensation, I got an email because I have a phone on Fido, which is under Rogers.
Yep.
Chatter is under Rogers. I don't
Yep.
know if anybody's heard of City Phone. I learned about it for the first time because that's under Rogers too, and it was in the email. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna compensate you for the day." So I emailed back and said, "But are you gonna compensate me for the business lost?" Even though I would say I don't run a big business like Pizza Nova that has our full payment processing on a Rogers platform, but people couldn't call on that line. So I don't know how much business was lost. I was just curious, like, how would they compensate for that? So I'm curious who out there does have Rogers, does run a business, and could you calculate how much money you actually lost because the system went down?
Well, interesting. Tim is saying there is no amount of Rogers credit placed on your account to make up for loss of business and loss of customers.
You see
Uh,
it?
one shot, one kill says, I heard the compensation is like $20. If they
Right.
say that, there's going to be well, you could have what's going on in Sri Lanka happening here. Let's put it that way. All right.
But $20 is if it went down for like an hour. It was down all day.
12 hours,
The
12, 13 hours.
like that full business day was completely lost. You can't tell me $20 covers that. Like
A
that is
frequency
gonna
event
be a
promotion
slap in the
saying
face.
Ryan TBH cash was king and queen on Friday.
Right? Yes.
Marlon saying it affected their international roaming clients as well. My daughter, who's now in Los Angeles, could not use her phone at all. Wow.
Wow. Look at
That I
that.
didn't
I
know.
didn't know that either. That's
That
wild.
is interesting.
Because
That
how
I
many
didn't know it
people would
affected
that be?
international clients.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a whole other perspective that I did not hear about
True.
until now. Wow.
Right.
Ooh. It'll be interesting to see.
Mm.
Now, I already heard someone say, "Yeah, I already switched over to Bell."
So that was going to be my lead-in question: is how many people do you think have switched now? Like that next phone call the next day was to switch to Bell or Telus, and that also brings up the question around the monopoly that those three companies have in Canada,
in telecommunications.
does that need to be broken up?
Easier said than done because we live in a capitalistic system. If we lived in a true, if we lived in a true democracy,
capitalist system, we'd be able to have more options. Like when they blocked Virgin coming up here. No, was it Virgin? Who was it that they blocked trying to come up here? Not Virgin, Verizon. Verizon
Yes.
was trying to come to Canada, and the big three was able to keep them out.
Wow. Here's another
Need
thing.
more
Tim
choice.
just put up here. My clients and myself do business 7 days a week, and our internet came back on Sunday around 4 p.m.
What?
Wow.
Nah.
You're the longest person. You're the longest outage I've heard of someone I know. That is ridiculous. That is, 3.5 days?
At least 2 full days. Close to 3. And then look at that. That's where Tim previously said, what number can you put on the lost business? Like, it's really, you can't really calculate, especially if it's 3 days.
Why do I hear a class action lawsuit coming?
Yeah, man. Well, what number would they put on it though? Yeah, because it's probably going to work out that everybody gets $20 anyway.
Well, it's interesting too, because when I had hair, I used to work in the telco industry, and I remember in its early infant days, when they made a very significant change with their service delivery. There's a line in your contract saying that service cannot be guaranteed.
You see that? I'm sure that's still there.
When the telecommunications industry first started, they didn't put that in their contracts. And when outages happened, people would come back at them. They'd have to compensate them. But they many years ago said, no, we cannot guarantee service. So they have their loophole around that. So people, whatever money you get, they will take the attitude, hey, we didn't have to give it to you. We're giving it to you because they could say that because it's sorry for the inconvenience. They can set the price.
And that's what takes us back to monopolies.
So from what I understand, Rogers rents satellite towers, service, and Bell. Yeah, the telco industry is very interesting because there's a lot of hand-holding with each other. So I know that I think, and you may be right, Frequency, that companies rent each other's towers because they don't have complete service in some areas, so they rent off. So it'll be very interesting to see how this happens, because I know that maybe some Bell customers got inconvenienced. So let's hear some more here. Tim say CRTC needs to create a bridging policy that forces internet service providers to flip to one of the other major providers until they fix their problems, and other provider can send them an invoice. I like that idea.
Yeah,
very good. I like that. I like that idea. Smart idea. That's why we have smart people who watch in our community. I'll say community here, not outside.
Right.
With this show, yes, there's a community. Regarding my daughter, we had to communicate using McDonald's and cafes. Wow. One of the rumored issues was around Hawaii, the Chinese supplier and carrier. If so, Bell and Telus could even be more vulnerable. Marlon saying, yes, Tim, I love that idea as well. I think that's great. Frequent saying, yeah, to be honest, the service cannot be guaranteed, which is likely with all other services. Yeah. Tim, yes. Dr. Vi said community. Yes, I said in regards to this platform.
Catch it.
No. Hey, I'm gonna say because of this spot, because we have a community here.
We're showing the blueprint.
We have a community here. Outside of here, I ain't gonna go there. Frequency of press best. This is where customer service is key. Absolutely. But yes, Tim, I did say community. Hey, and I don't mind putting it out there. But with this platform outside of here, in fact, I was at the picnic yesterday, and with a couple, we had a deep dive conversation. And I said to them, there's no such thing as a Black community. We have neighborhoods, we don't have communities. I said, and they gave me high fives.
Oh boy. Okay.
And they're very wonderful, intelligent, conscious couple. Right?
Yes.
So neighborhoods, community here, outside of here, you got your neighborhoods.
Right. I will take the victory.
No victory. There's no victory.
Small victory.
No.
This is showing what needs to be done on an expanded level.
No, this is. Oh, let me just say, okay. No, it's a community here. Outside of here, it's about 2 decades ago, Rogers Rec convinced us to transfer all our business to them. A nightmare. Shifted back to Bell a week later. Wasn't worth the discount. Doesn't Bell own all the infrastructure?
Possible.
That's a really
because Rogers came into the telecommunications late, internet. Wasn't it?
I wonder if there's family. Since we have a community here, do you know of anyone Black who has a good lens on the telecommunications industry in this country? If you do, get in contact with us. We would love to have them on.
Right. I like that.
So I would love to get, and if they're not, I'd like to get someone to give a lens on it. Tim Frey saying Wendell Clark, Charles Gordon, Steve Petgrave, Dr. Vibe. Well, no, yeah, they were all there yesterday. Cornwall College, Old Boys Association, Canadian chapter had their family day thing. Actually, my father was one of the original founders of the Cornwall College, Old Boys Association of Canada. So frequency. Doctor said community. Yeah, I said community because I'm talking about myself. I said myself. This platform, the Morning Vibe community, not outside anywhere.
We're gonna clip that out.
Andrew Bromfield. Would he? Maybe he may have.
You'd have at least, a deeper perspective.
I think if I know you have a working relationship with Andrew.
I'm curious his thoughts on how true their, I don't want to call it excuse, but their explanation of what happened. He'd be able to dig through that and see if a maintenance would upset a router that could cause a national blackout like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. Marlon saying, I have someone back in the Nortel days. Nortel, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. You're an OG if you're saying Nortel.
Yes. Fun fact, that's where I did my co-op in high school. I think it was year 2000. So that might have been, I wonder when did they collapse? It was like
Frequency
2-3 years.
Saying, just kidding, Dr. Vibe. No, I wasn't playing with you, man. That's all right. We're all good. Just, I know Plum's going to probably take that clip and use it against me. Probably Ryan's going to get someone again. They're going to use it against me. And Tim Frey saying infrastructure could be owned by Dick Clark and his global communication domination company.
Oh, still? Like, when you dig deep enough?
Well, it's funny. Dick Clark from back then, again, you got to be able to an OG to know that name, Dick Clark, back in the days where he had so much media ownership. But the modern day version of a Dick Clark is a guy named Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, what?
Do you know that name?
Yeah. What
okay. Well, so you may not know how deep that guy's he's on. Okay. He took over for there was a show, I don't know if it's still on, many years ago called American Top 40 that was hosted by a gentleman named Casey Kasem. I think he's no longer with us. And they do a weekly top 40 countdown of top 40 songs in America. But when Casey Kasem left, Ryan Seacrest took over. Ryan Seacrest, I don't know if it's still on. There was Regis and Kathy Lee, and then he replaced Regis Philbin. I don't know if that show's on because I don't watch that stuff.
I think he's still with not Kathy. What's her name?
Katie. I don't know what her name is. Whatever. People know. Yeah, whoever she is. But here's another thing.
It's Kelly.
Kelly. Thank you. Yes. Kelly.
Because Michael Strahan first took it over, and then he left, and then Ryan Seacrest has been there. Yeah.
Right. So yes. So Regis and Kelly. Now, who is the producer of all? I don't know if he still is, but for many years. Who was the executive producer of that the family that does nothing and makes a lot of money, the Kardashian stuff?
He was, yeah. And a few other reality shows.
Yes.
I'll see his name there.
So he is our today's version of Dick Clark. He is definition of a media beast, Ryan Seacrest.
Wow.
So if people
Yeah, you would
want
just
to,
even know.
People may not even, they may think, oh, he's a funny guy. No, he got, and from what, and then there was a time he would fly back and forth, East Coast, West Coast at the end of each week.
What? Like
Oh
to
yeah,
do wow.
yes, he is a beast.
Okay. Keep
Frequency
the eye
saying it
on
would be
that.
incredible to have our own telecommunications company. Now, I'm not saying I would say I'm not saying, I'm just saying, yeah, well, that's again what I've been saying for years, everybody. Control media.
Absolutely. But that's also controlling the platform.
Yeah, right. Ryan is on all media platforms, owns tons of TV. Yeah, exactly. If anyone wants to just see a very interesting business case study, Googleicious Ryan Seacrest and just
right.
and just see how many different entities that he owns or oversees. There's just the Kardashians.
Would it show on his IMBD thing? Or probably not.
Let's do something right here. Let's do something. Let's see Crest. Now, if people want to know the definition of a business beast, Ryan Seacrest. Let me just. I'm just gonna be the lazy. Go the Well, look at this. Just career, television hosting, American Idol, New Year's Rocking Eve, E and NBC, Live with Kelly and Ryan. Seacrest 3, Ryan Seacrest Productions.
Okay.
Like, this is. Yeah, in 2017, Seacrest signed a multi-year deal between Ryan Seacrest Productions and ABC Studios, in which the company's scripted television would develop scripted projects for ABC Studios exclusively. I want to see, you know what I want to do? I'm going to put Ryan Seacrest net worth. I think that, especially for us today.
Interesting. Yes.
Okay, let's see.
We have to guess in the room. 50 million. No.
50?
Yeah, 50. More than 50?
50?
Okay, what is it at?
Okay, before we go any further, let's get back to some of our comments. Nortel is a lot of the wired infrastructure, actually, but radio, microwaves, and other OTA over-the-air technologies are 3G technologies. A big part of my history is in the internet. Okay, maybe Marlon, you need to come on. Ryan is a syndication king. Yes. Like back in the day, Merv Griffin was a syndication king because Merv Griffin owned and created. He took over the rights for Jeopardy, and then he also has the rights for his trust or whoever had the rights for Wheel of Fortune. Ryan is also a line of dress shirts, well made, well fitting, just saying LOL.
Yes.
Off the top of it, okay, hold on. We'll get that. So you were saying 50 million for Ryan Seacrest.
Okay, now, but after you made that face, I want to change my answer.
That's how much you're worth.
500 million.
Okay, that's better. His worth is approximately $450 million.
That because is this claim to fame starting with American Idol, or he was kind of doing stuff before
American Idol? Again, I think his big first break was taking over for Casey Kasem for the American Top 40.
Okay, so that was before.
That was before. That was
okay.
That was his first big break, and then
Gotcha.
getting the stuff for the Kardashians. That was a major score.
Oh yeah.
Like when they started off on their early days on the E network, he was the executive producer.
Right.
But see this, and he goes back. Like I'm just taking a look at in 2006, he became the executive producer and co-host of Dick Clark's New Year's Rocking Eve. He remained host and executive producer of the annual show broadcast from Times Square until Dick Clark's death in 2012. He began co-hosting Live with Kelly and Ryan on a permanent base 2017. Okay, let me just find out about him and that family that does nothing.
Yes.
Okay, let's about because that was when he really sealed. So he has been he was the executive producer and creator. So not only is it the producer family, he was the creator. So he owned all the rights. And think about how many different countries around the world that show has been distributed to.
That's
He's making
syndication,
coin
man.
on, right? Syndication.
Right.
He was executive producer and creator of the Keeping Up with the Kardashians from 2007 to 2017, 10 years. He is now producer of the Kardashians, the new one, I think, on Hulu or whatever it is this year.
So still connected.
Why would he not be?
Yeah, I thought it went to 2017. Maybe they figured out a way to.
And here's another thing: he is the co-host and executive producer of Live with Kelly and Ryan. So not only is he he's the executive producer from 2017 to present.
What?
Yeah.
How did he swing that?
Beast.
But then was that before he became a host? But he became the host that year, though, in 2017.
That's the thing. So I think he came in. Not only did he get the host gig, he got the executive producer.
Wow. He's ain't stupid.
Beast.
Oh man.
Okay,
but that's interesting though, because
Tim is saying,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Tim is saying, why are we discussing a short $500 million man? LOL. Well, we're doing anything to, but it just shows you how you can develop your media property, branding, controlling your distribution of content. This is what ownership can do for you financially.
But this is where because look, Michael Strahan also became the host on that show, but he did not negotiate executive producer rights. A lot of times we go into negotiations and we just give the talent and the content, but we don't own it. And this is a conversation that we really have to start having, because that blueprint that he's showing, syndication, executive producer, we have to be able to also do that with a lot of the artists right now. We have to figure out how to get that information to them. How do they actually own their content?
And again, our smart audience is Tim's on fire today. We should talk about Byron Allen, Black Media Model.
That's where my mind went, because he purchased the Weather Channel.
Yep,
and he has a platform.
I'm a fan. I admire about him. There's some things I don't admire about him, but hey, that's the price of doing. But Brian Allen's done incredible stuff, from being in front of the camera to now being behind the camera and really controlling a lot of media properties. And it hasn't been an easy road for him, but he has done a phenomenal job. And again, a person that does not get enough recognition in the Black environment. He is a great person to get mentorship from in regards. And I remember him back in the days as he was a comedian.
Yes.
I remember him as a comedian. I remember him as a comedian, and look at the great things that he has done. Hey, and actually this year, he made a bid to buy the Denver Broncos NFL team.
Oh, come on.
He was outbid, but he was outbid by one of the heirs to the Walmart company.
Oh, I did hear when they won it. I didn't know Byron Allen was part of the running. You see, why wouldn't he be able to bring on other high net worth Black individuals to help sweeten that deal? Like, what? I'm curious how big is the investment group was.
A lot of that may be the old boys club too, preventing him to be an owner. Because again, the NFL, interesting. Again, the NFL, the large majority of the players are looking like us. None of the owners look like us, but that's a whole other conversation. Racing to afraid because we aren't delivering content as effectively as other communities. So most of what we do gets unnoticed. Interesting point. You know what we have to do one day? I just thought about it. We got to bring some of these heavy hitters all on together and have like a round table, like
I
a
love
round
that.
table on. I just thought about this idea. See if we can get Tim, Ray, some other people, and have them come on like maybe even once a month. Just a round table and just chop it up.
I love that.
I think that'd be a really good idea because we have so many smart individuals that are made a commitment to make this as good as it is, and it's not us, it's through us. And like just we didn't think about talking about Byron Allen today or Ryan Seacrest or Holmes today, and we're very blessed to have good relations with so many people that know more than at least me in these areas, and bringing them to you
same.
would be really good. But yeah, and there was something else I wanted to chat about, and I lost my alleged mind.
Right.
No, okay, we covered Rogers, weekend festivities. Yeah, I think we got pretty much everything down.
And there was a comment from Frequency that
Denim Jolly, is he still in the media? No, Denim Jolly is not really involved anymore. And just a little fact, my father and Denim Jolly have known each other for over 70 years. They went to high school together in Jamaica at Cornwall College school. So they've known each other they talk at least once a week. So I that is cool. Very good. Tim says, great chat, gents, to bring up my morning activities. Awesome. Excellent. Well, Tim, thank you for helping it make it a great chat. It's been amazing. 100%. Amazing conversation. We didn't know what was going to be happening today, and it just happened organically. Bam! You just made it happen. So
love it.
So what else is going on the rest of the week, Ryan?
So tonight, I know we had to reschedule the roundtable talking about the Black entrepreneurship loan and people's experiences. So that's happening tonight. The Black ecosystem study group, Tuesday evenings, we're going to keep that going. That's been quite interesting conversations. And the grant info session is happening Wednesday. So there are a few grants that business owners should be aware of, especially the investment readiness program is going to be coming online soon. You can get between $10,000 to $100,000 as a grant to help with your social enterprise. Wednesday at 1:00, we're going to be talking about that. But yeah, the rest of the week, pretty calm. How about yourself?
You say you're having calm weeks and you're wanting to move to Ajax? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Lots of calmness. For myself, I think this is the first week in a few weeks I'll be full throttle. Last week was it wasn't fully, but now we're going back in full steam ahead. Yes. Live conversation tomorrow night with Sid McNary. Then not doing too many live evening conversations right now, which is okay. Of course, managing all the interns that I'm having to chat with, in a negotiation to potentially make a visit to another part of Canada and maybe co-host a morning vibe from that area of the world. What else? And you know what? Nice. July is going by so fast. Like, time is just flying. It's just flying because I think once this month is done, summer is basically boom.
Listen, one day at a time, man.
That's true.
Make sure to get out and take a walk. Enjoy the sun.
That exactly. That if you were in Toronto this weekend, especially Saturday, beautiful day.
Warm. It had such a nice wind, like a breeze.
Yeah, it was great. It was great car wash weather and detailing weather, right? So that was, and then Frequency saying, continue the great work, Dr. Von Rhino. Yes, we can. Thank you, Jesse. And they're looking to come on one day. Yes. Well, okay. Here's a news question. Did you start your holiday shopping?
Shopping? No, thank you. Don't even. Christmas can stay away until November 1st.
Oh boy. But no, we haven't started our holiday shopping
yet. Is it a different holiday? For Emancipation Month?
Yes, actually, we'll see if we, who we should reach out to.
Oh,
Rosemary
Rosemary.
Sadler.
Yeah, yeah,
We should
yeah.
reach out to see if we can get her because Emancipation Day is coming up. We should see if we can get. I will give her a call today and see if she'd be available to come on. That would be really good to have. All right.
Yes, yes.
That's it for
Hey.
today, folks. Ryan's got he's got all his meetings to do. I'd like to say thanks to everyone who jumped in today and helped it make an epic conversation. Frequency Event Promotions, Tim Frey, Ray, the McMillan Group, Marlon. Good to see you and hear you as always. I'm probably going to be chatting with most of you during the week, anyways, or reaching out to see how things are go on.
Yes.
And also, we had Sophia Marshall. Thank you for jumping in. And I think what we're going to say is this. You can watch replays of the Morning Vibe at the Dr. Vibe Show, YouTube and Facebook, the Afro-Canadian Business Network, Facebook and YouTube, and Ryan Knight on YouTube, also on Facebook too. I think they stay on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Sorry, LinkedIn. They stay on LinkedIn also. So this is good. What do we got? One more comment here. Let me see what's happening here. Would love to come on and discuss the FFF Backpack Love program that we're doing for Peel Learning Foundation.
Amazing.
Okay, Tim. Well, you reach out to me via text and let's get it booked, because I'm not saying this to be bodacious, but these days our calendar is filling up. So
yeah, let's book that in.
Yeah, book get us and booked in, because I say the sooner you get out to us, the easier to especially get you on when you want to come on.
True.
When you want to come on. So, and also for those who are expecting Wayne last Friday, we're deciding whether the soonest we can have Wayne back on is the 22nd of this month, but I'm going to be reaching out to him and say, does he want to just hold off and do everything for the 5th? But so if you were expecting Wayne Harris to be on, Rogers controlled it. It matched up everything.
And that reminds me, this Friday coming up, we have a representative from supporting Black charities.
Yes,
and
we have that. Thank you. Thank you.
And Nick has been a supporter of ACBN since day one. She came to our first ever event here in Brampton at the Chinguzi Chalet, November 2017. So always a big fan of her and looking forward to seeing what she's been working on with Support Black Charities.
Which is another thing too, and we won't talk about it in depth, but wow, Patrick Brown had a very interesting last week.
Whoa, holy smokes. Like, it's a train wreck, man. What the heck is I don't even know. It's amazing how much internally the own conservatives at the provincial level attacked this man, and now the federal level, they ousted him out of the leadership race.
That is a mess.
But that, to me, it's lining up the liberals to win again, because if people are seeing this type of infighting with the conservatives, it doesn't embody what conservatives try to present themselves as like the organized straight shooters.
But at the end of the day,
they're all over the place.
At the end of the day, it's all about power. Right?
But that's the thing. But it's like a high school power, the way that they're fighting. It's like tit for tat. What I'm saying, it does not look prime ministerial. It looks very what's it called? Unorganized.
Frequency says,
I
remember your first event, Ryan. Continuous health, strength, and success, ACBN. But yeah, well, and
thank you.
This puts Mr. Polivier, I believe it's his last name, in the front line. He's pretty right of center.
Hey, that's what their party wants. That's what they're gonna get. Is that good enough to beat? Because remember, the Liberals and NDP have a little
love nest.
Right, they have a little pact there. So the Conservatives have to come like hot in order to defeat the next, which would be like 2025. They got to get their shit in order.
All right. So we're done. We have, as always, you'd like to say, live your life. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger. Aim higher. Aim wider. Aim better. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and don't just manage your time. Manage your energy. And remember this, family. A tree without roots is a piece of wood. See you on Friday. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for all you do for the epic conversations we have here. Take care. God bless.